Hello, good person. And today we delve into the history and mysteries of Stonehenge. Delving into the facts that are known about Stonehenge often leaves mouths gaping. Nearly 5,000 years ago, an ancient civilization cut blue stones from Welsh mountains, then transported each boulder weighing up to 50 tons, 240 miles away to Wiltshire. The theories about what it was used for are fascinating, with some offering more credence than others. It is very unlikely aliens built Stonehenge, as some suggest. Let's brick together the very likely purposes this ancient structure was constructed and used for. The significance of Stonehenge as a prehistoric monument site attracted more global recognition when it was designated as a World Heritage Site in 1986. This engineering achievement predates the pyramids and stands as one of the earliest entries from the UK on the UNESCO World Heritage List. The remarkable engineering feat of Stonehenge becomes even more impressive considering it was crafted by ancient peoples using simple tools. Its history spans over 4,500 years with potential evidence of earlier construction activities on the site dating back an additional 2,000 years. Mesolithic potholes discovered beneath the current car park date back to around 8,000 BC. and suggest a usage of the site possibly exceeding 10,000 years. Situated in Wiltshire, Stonehenge lies 2 miles west of Amesbury, approximately 8 miles north of Salisbury, and near the village of Winterbourne Stoke. It holds a personal significance for me, as I recall visiting my grandmother in the nearby village of Winterbourne Stoke during my childhood. Many of the stones made an incredible journey. The prevailing theory suggests that the blue stones used in Stonehenge were sourced from quarries in Wales and transported to the site. The extraction process likely involved the insertion of wooden wedges into cracks between pillars, allowing rain to swell the wood and crack the stone for removal. Transporting the stones from Wales would have been a lengthy and arduous journey, comprising both land and water routes. The initial stage likely involved transporting the stones to Milford Haven, where they would have been loaded onto rafts. These rafts would then navigate along the South Wales coast before travelling up the River Avon and another river, potentially the River Frome. Once reaching a point near Warminster and Wheely Down, the stones may have been transported overland, possibly using sledges or rollers, before being loaded back onto rafts to navigate along the River Wyre, River Salisbury, and finally to the River Avon to West Amesbury. This extensive route would have covered almost 240 miles. Moving the stones on land would have required significant manpower, with estimates suggesting that around 500 men using leather ropes would have been needed to pull one stone, with an additional 100 men required to position the rollers ahead of the sledge. Suggested that a team of oxen may have been employed to haul the stones. When it comes to construction, the earliest stages of building was the stone circle, comprising an inner and outer arrangement of stones, being either sarsen stones or a type of sandstone that has an average weight of 25 tons, and the smaller blue stones that weigh between 2 and 5 tons each. The blue stones aren't actually blue, but they have a bluish tint when wet. Colossal stones forming the trilithon structures within Stonehenge are among the largest, each weighing up to 50 tons. Arranged symmetrically and interconnected by intricate jointing, some of these stones feature carvings depicting axe heads and daggers believed to be Bronze Age weapons. Encircling a horseshoe shape, the outer circle originally consisted of 30 sarsen stones, each capped with lintels. Despite many stones having fallen and some elements missing, only 17 of these stones remain standing, each standing approximately 13 feet, 4.1 meters high, and 6 feet 11 inches, 2.1 meters wide. Several stones were toppled during the Roman occupation of Britain, with 3 falling in 1797 and 2 more in 1900. The latter 5 stones were re-erected in 1958. Inside the sarsen circle lies a concentric arrangement of blue stones forming a circle and an inner oval. Some of these blue stones have since fallen, while others are missing entirely, leaving a number only as stumps. One of the most significant features of the stones which helped to make Stonehenge unique in terms of the construction of the monument is the way they fit together. The lintels were fitted onto the standing stones using mortise holes and protruding tenons, or the lintels were joined by tongue and groove joints, a technique more usually found in woodworking. Mortise holes are square holes, and the tenons are shaped perfectly rectangular or square to fit inside them, making very strong joints. Outside the main entrance is the heel stone, a large unshapen sarsen boulder and the largest stone of all at about 30 tons, which originally had accompanying stones near it. Anyone standing in the inner circle at the summer solstice will see the sunrise over the heel stone. Near the entrance is the slaughter stone at 16 feet, 4.9 meters long, which has now fallen and was so called because it was believed to have been used as a place for human sacrifice. 4 station stones, only 2 of which remain, mark the corners of the rectangle and are thought to relate to the solstice alignment. Within the enclosed area are 56 pits known as the Albury Holes, after John Albury, who first discovered them in the late 17th century. Some of these were found to contain cremation burials reflecting the area's first use as a cemetery site, although there are suggestions the holes were originally created to support a bluestone standing circle. What was Stonehenge used for is a question that has been quarry for truth seekers for hundreds of years. Stonehenge is widely acknowledged as one of Britain's largest burial grounds during the 3rd millennium BC, hosting a significant number of cremated remains over a period spanning 500 years from 3000 BC to 2500 BC. But one theory is that Stonehenge's unique stone configuration and acoustic properties had led to speculation that it may have served as an early concert hall. The stone's ability to enhance sound and produce a distinctive clanging noise suggests they could have been used for rituals or music performances. The inclusion of blue stones, known for their ringing qualities and purported healing powers, supports this notion and would answer why stones were brought from such a far distance. Another theory proposes Stonehenge as a site of healing, proposed by Professor Geoffrey Wainwright and Timothy DeVila of Bournemouth University. They argue that the large number of burials, some exhibiting signs of trauma or deformity, supports this idea. Plus, analysis of remains suggests individuals from other parts of Europe were buried there, reinforcing its potential as a healing centre. The alignment of the stones with the solstices has led to speculation that Stonehenge served as an early observatory, facilitating the tracking and prediction of celestial events important for religious practices. Some researchers even suggest it functioned as an ancient temple dedicated to solar movements. While some propose more fantastical explanations, such as Stonehenge being a model of the solar system or constructed by alien visitors, the prevailing view is that it primarily served as a burial site and religious center, intricately connected with solar and celestial phenomena. A series of excavations took place down the ages, finding very different conclusions about the stones. As the excavations continued over the centuries, they became more credible. Bizarrely, in 1877, Charles Darwin, as part of his investigation into the enduring impact of earthworm activity, observed that the stones had descended and become buried deeper in the ground due to the actions of the earthworms. His findings were documented in his book, The Formation of Vegetable Mold Through the Actions of Worms. The earliest recorded excavation of Stonehenge dates back to the 1620s, initiated by the Duke of Buckingham following King James's visit to the site. Subsequently, architect Indigo Jones conducted a survey at the behest of King James, concluding that the monument was of Roman origin. Around 1666, John Aubrey, an antiquarian, conducted a survey of the site and identified 56 pits, now known as the Aubrey Holes, as I mentioned before. Disagreeing with the Roman theory, Aubrey proposed that the indigenous inhabitants, particularly the Druids, were responsible for Stonehenge's construction, as they featured in the only accounts he could find. The first substantial restoration effort at Stonehenge occurred in 1901, prompted by the collapse of one of the Sarsen stones and its lintel. Concerns arose regarding the stability of other stones, leading to the straightening and cementing in place of a significant leaning Sarsen stone under the supervision of Professor William Gowland. Through this restoration work, it was determined that the monument was constructed during the late Neolithic or early Bronze Age period. In 1923, an excavation revealed the remains of a beheaded man, a departure from the previously discovered cremated bodies from the Neolithic era, as this individual was determined to be from the 7th century Anglo-Saxon period. The act of beheading suggested he might have faced execution, possibly indicating criminal activity. However, the very fact that he was interred at Stonehenge raised the possibility he held significant social status, perhaps even royalty. Another important discovery came between 1950 and 1964. Professor Richard Atkinson, along with J.F. Stone and Stuart Pickett, conducted further excavations unearthing numerous Bronze Age axes and knives. In 1978, an incredible find was discovered which was quite apart from the usual cremation piles. During preparations for the construction of a new visitor centre in 1966-67, excavations uncovered a pothole where a companion stone to the heel stone had once stood. But various megalithic post holes were discovered, one of which yielded the remains of the Stonehenge archer in 1978. Radiocarbon dating placed these remains at around 2300 BC, which put these remains at the same era as the recently found Amesbury archer, buried approximately 3 miles away. Examination of the skeleton indicated that the man was a native of the region and approximately 30 years old at the time of his death. He acquired the nickname Archer due to the presence of a stone wrist guard and multiple flint arrowheads found alongside him. These wrist guards were likely symbols of prestige, showing off skill in hunting or warfare, possibly serving as ornamental additions to functional bracers. Some of the arrowheads were found embedded in the man's bones, indicating that they caused his death. His remains are currently held at the Salisbury Museum in Salisbury. In 2008, Professor Mike Parker led an excavation at Stonehenge, revealing cremated remains from Aubrey Holes dated between 3000 and 2500 BC. Simultaneously, Tim Darville from the University of Bournemouth and George Wainwright commenced excavations within the stone circle. Their findings pinpointed the erection of some blue stones around 2300 BC and unearthed organic material dating back to 7000 BC. Plus, evidence of Roman activity emerged, including coins, metal artifacts, and pottery. These excavations unveiled a wealth of artifacts now housed in museums in Salisbury and Devizes. Utilizing advanced techniques like digital imaging, 3D mapping, and carbon dating, researchers hope to unlock more insights into Stonehenge's history. Yet despite these advancements, many enigmas surrounding the monument persist due to scant evidence. Today, access to the stones, with visitors only allowed within them during the summer and winter solstices, or through special bookings. Traffic is also kept away, so visitors make the 1.5-mile or 2.1-kilometer trek from the visitor center either by shuttle bus or by foot. This is combined with time-allocated tickets designed to prevent visitor congestion. Thank you for watching.